Passing is one of the most fundamental and important skills in football. It allows players of the same team to move the ball between one another. While this might sound simple, it is actually much more complicated, as passing the ball is beneficial in a number of ways, as the ball can move faster than any other person can run and stop on the spot, making it more efficient to pass the ball around the field to eventually score a goal. As passing is much faster than running with the ball, it allows the attacking team to use this to their advantage by catching the defending players out of position. But if they were to run with the ball, the defenders would have enough time to get back into position. On top of these benefits, passing is less difficult and requires less energy, so it is easily the best and most efficient way of moving the ball. A good pass can allow for a teammate to have an open opportunity on goal and to score, and ultimately win you the game. While soccer is measured by how many goals you score, in order to score a goal, very rarely will a goal be scored without passing taking place beforehand. This is why it is emphasized as a fundamental skill and is taught and practiced from junior level all the way up until professional level. It is essential that a player has passing learnt to an autonomous level in order to play at a competitive level, even in the youth age groups. When broken down to its core idea, the main goal of passing is getting the ball from one player to another. Coach of professional English soccer club Manchester City, Pep Guardiola, suggests that a player should think about these three things while passing: the position of the player receiving the ball and their angle to the passer, the power required in the pass in order to get the ball to the player receiving, depending on how far or close they are from the person passing, and the placement of the pass, as sometimes the ball does not always need to go directly to their feet, but instead sometimes in front of where they're running. Nicknamed Pep's 3 Ps, a player should use these in order to make a successful pass. If not used, the player's pass will go to no one or the opposition. This is why a player should be autonomous in their physical passing skill in order to focus on Pep's 3 Ps while passing, not on their individual muscle movements. Today we will first be analysing Under-16s Youth National Premier League Canberra Olympic player Zane McAlpine. There are a few common beginner mistakes that Zane is making in this video. During the lead up to the pass, the contact on the pass, and the follow through, Zane has his head and eyes downwards towards the ball. This is common for beginners as they do not have the muscle memory to be able to not look at the ball while passing. Moving downward, we can see Zane keeps his hips square during the preparation, contact, and follow through of the pass. This leaves his only range of motion, knee flexion and extension, creating a smaller lever, giving him a biomechanical disadvantage, making him use more effort than he needs to get the same amount of power as people with proper technique. And down to the bottom of his movement we can see two problems. The first one being Zane makes contact with the ball with his toes instead of the inside of his foot. This is a smaller surface area and creates more room for error. Secondly, we see that Zane makes contact with the ball at the bottom side of the ball. This causes the ball to go upwards rather than along the ground. Let's analyse this part further. As we can see, Zane's contact with the ball is low, causing the ball to rise up in the air rather than stay along the ground. Next we'll be taking a look at Nikita Malakas, Canberra Olympic first grade men's National Premier League player, and his passing technique. As we see with Nikita, he only looks at the ball during the preparation phase of the pass. He then turns his head upwards to see where he's passing the ball to. This allows him to more accurately pass the ball and also choose better placement and power. Moving downwards, we can see Nikita starts with his hips externally rotated and then brings them into internal rotation to finally square them off during contact and follow through of the pass. We also see that his knee is slightly bent and stays at the same angle throughout the whole duration of the pass. Let's analyze this aspect further. As we can see in this diagram, Nikita creates a much bigger lever with his body, having the fulcrum at his hips. This gives him a biomechanical advantage over Zain, allowing him to put much more power in with less effort. As we can see with Nikita, he keeps his ankle locked after contact with the ball and throughout the follow-through. Nikita makes contact with the middle of the ball in order to keep the ball along the ground while passing. He also uses the inside of his foot. Let's analyze this aspect further as well. By using the inside of the foot, Nikita gives a greater surface area on the contact of the ball with his foot. This leads to less randomness in the pass and a more controlled pass. By Nikita striking the middle of the ball, it allows the ball to travel along the ground and make it more accurate. Because Nikita has learned this skill to an autonomous level, he should practice it in an open environment with defenders and random variables to challenge him the most, as he does not have to think about passing it. However, Zain, on the other hand, who has not learnt it to an autonomous level, should practice it in a closed environment and keep the drills simple. He should use distributed practice and get constant feedback and tweak his technique almost every time. This allows Zain to develop muscle memory and get him to the autonomous level. Thanks for watching, and I hope you learned something.